Hello, friends and family. How's everybody tonight? I am Texas Beach Mom, or Mama Robin if you would prefer, and this is supposed to be Watts Wednesday. However, I don't have anything for tonight for the Watts. I am working on something for next week, though. Might be actually a pretty good video. I haven't done anything real good on that in a while. Really don't have much. But, so I've been doing the haunted house thing, the famous haunted murder houses. And I think last time we did one of these, we talked about the Lizzie Borden house, which is, of course, a famous murder house. Tonight, we're going to talk about one probably just as famous, if not more so. Lots of controversy over this one because some people believe it was haunted, and other people believe that the story is crap. And I have seen things about it, the story being debunked and stuff. So we are going to talk about the infamous Amityville Horror, or the Amityville House. On November 13th, 1974, 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed 6 members of his family at the home. They lived at 112 Ocean Avenue, a large Dutch colonial house situated in the suburban neighborhood of Amityville on the south shore of Long Island, New York. After the trial lasting 7 weeks, DeFeo was convicted of second-degree murder in November 1975 and sentenced to 6 terms of 25 years to life in prison. DeFeo died in prison on March 2021. In December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz moved into the house with their 3 children and their dog Harry. After 28 days, the Lutzes fled the house, claiming to have been terrorized by paranormal phenomena while living there. So, we're going to continue here. The Lutz family moved in December 18, 1975, and much of the DeFeo furniture was still in the house. Much of the DeFeo furniture was still in the house because it was included for $400 as part of the deal. A friend of George Lutz learned the history of the house and insisted on having it blessed. At the time, George was a non-practicing Methodist and had no experience on what this would entail. Kathy was a non-practicing Catholic and explained the process. George knew a Catholic priest by the name of Father Ray who agreed to carry out the house blessing. Father Ray was a judge of the Catholic court, and a psychotherapist who lived in the local Sacred Heart Rectory. He arrived to perform the blessing while George and Kathy were unpacking their belongings on the afternoon of December 18th, 1975, and went to the building to carry out the rites. He flicked his holy water and began to pray. He heard a masculine voice that demanded, "Get out." When leaving the house, Father Ray did not mention this incident to George or Kathy. Now, hold on a minute. So, this priest apparently went into this house, if I'm understanding what I just read. He went in to bless it. He heard a masculine voice telling him to get out, and he said nothing to the homeowners. He said nothing to the people that he was blessing the house for. He just ran out the door and said nothing. Said nothing to them. Just let them carry on. Had nothing to say. That don't make sense. I mean, why would you do that? On December 24th, 1975, Father Ray called George Lutz and advised him to stay out of the second floor where he had heard the mysterious voice. So he waited till later after they had moved in and been there a while and said, "Oh, by the way, I realize you've already been here some time, but don't go in there. Don't go in that room on the top floor." Yeah, right, whatever. See, that kind of stuff alone is why it makes it feel like it's made up. Like it's stupid, it's crap. Because I feel like if a priest was blessing a house and he heard a masculine voice telling him to get out, I feel like he would say something like, "Hey people, yeah, I'm leaving. The house just told me to get out, so that's what I'm doing. And I would advise you all to do the same thing. And then wait a week or two or however long it was, and then call them and say, oh, by the way, you need to stay out of that house. No, no, that doesn't even sound right. Uh, Kathy was planning to use it as a sewing room, but the call was cut short by static. Following his visit to the house, Father Ray allegedly developed a high fever and blisters on his hands, similar to stigmata. At first, George and Kathy experienced nothing unusual in the house, talking about their experiences. Subsequently, they reported as if they were each living in a different house. By January of 1976, by mid-January 76, after another attempt at blessing the house blessing by George and Kathy, they experienced what would turn out to be their final night in the house. The Letzes declined to give a full account of the events that took place on the occasion, describing them as too frightening to talk about. After getting in touch with Father Ray, the Letzes decided to take some belongings and stay at Kathy's mother's house in nearby Deer Park, New York, until they had sorted the problems out with the house. They claimed the phenomenon followed them there, with the final scene of Anson's book describing a greenish black slime coming up the staircase towards them. Yeah, that sounds accurate, sure. On January 14th, 1976, George and Kathy Lutz and their 3 children and their dog Harry left 112 Oceanside, leaving their possessions behind. The next day, the mover arrived to remove the possessions to send to Lutz's. He reported no paranormal phenomena while inside the house. So they fled. They left their furniture behind. They sent someone to go get their stuff, and the person that were in there, or the people that were in there, the group of people that were in there, apparently was like, no, this house seems fine to us. Okie dokie. The book was written after Tam Mossman, an editor and publishing house, Prentice Hall, introduced George and Kathy Lutz to Jay Anson. The Lutzes did not work directly with Anson, but they submitted around 45 hours of tape-recorded recollections to him, which were used as the basis of the book. Estimates of the sales of the book are around 10 million copies from its numerous editions, and to still have based the title The Animal Horror on the Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft, which was published in 1929. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff, and I've read about how that it was just bullshit. That it was absolute lies. According to, oh crap, what was I getting ready to say? Ed and Lorraine Warren, who some people believe in and some people do not. According to Ed and Lorraine Warren, it was haunted. I don't know if I believe in what they say either. So I am somewhat of a skeptic. I'm always stuck in the middle of this. I have 2 thoughts usually on this. One of them was like, okay, half of me goes, I believe in ghosts. And then part of me says, no, you don't. Like I'm always not sure what I believe. I have had weird experiences, and I believed in those experiences because I had them. But when I hear things about, I don't know, green slime going upstairs towards people, and flying pigs with red eyes outside the bedroom window and things like that, I find myself being skeptical. I am, excuse me, somewhat of a skeptic. With that being said, when I do these stories, they are purely for entertainment purposes. They're not educational. They're not factual. Or the history on the house is factual, but the paranormal stuff is not factual that I know of. I've not seen it. I've not had it happen to me, so I can't claim it as factual. But I do these for entertainment purposes. So that is tonight's story. It's the Animal House, which I said most of us probably already know or have heard of. The factual parts, of course, were the fact that Ronnie DeFeo Jr. killed his entire family. Or at least he was found guilty of it, sentenced to life in prison, and died in prison. And then the maybe factual, maybe not factual, was the George and Kathy Lutz. Now, from what I understand, other people have lived there and they've been fine. I don't know. I honestly cannot tell you whether it's true or not because I've not there, not been there, and don't intend to go there. Not so much out of fear, but I don't really have a desire to go all the way to Annabelle, New York to see if it's true or not. There have been some murder houses that I've been kind of curious about. The one I've been the most curious about, Lizzie Borden, the Lizzie Borden house. I'm kind of curious that, and they've turned that to B&B, so bed and breakfast. So I kind of would like to go there if I could. I don't have a big desire to go to the Annabelle house. Like I said, it's not so much fear. I'm just don't have a desire to do it. There's been a few that I may talk about that I've always kind of wondered about. The Annabelle house is not one of them. Now, I did see the original movie when it came out with James Brolin, I do believe. And I was a kid when I saw it, so it kind of creeped me out. And then I saw the remake with Ryan Reynolds. And it didn't really bother me. It looked hokey. It didn't look as hokey as the original movie. But again, I was a kid when the original came out. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I have for tonight. I am working on an actual video for Chris Watts. Watts Wednesday. Next Wednesday. But tonight was just not the night for that. I tell you what, ever since Alyssa left, it did throw me for a loop. And then Monday was a holiday. So I'm still kind of behind on things. And I've had a lot going on with my family and my friends. So a lot of it's taking up my time. But yes, I am working on something much better for Watts Wednesday next week. I hope, if nothing else, you found this story entertaining. Let me know in the comments if you believe or if you don't believe in the Annabelle house being haunted. I mean, I believe in the murders because they happened. But I kind of like to know what your take on it all is. How you feel about it. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in possessions? Do you believe in all the stuff that supposedly happened there? Do you believe in the things that Ed and Lorraine Warren say? I mean, they supposedly have investigated a lot of houses and found them all to be haunted. There was Annabelle, there was all the Conjuring movies that they investigated that stuff. So, I don't know. So, everybody's going to let me know in the comments how you feel about it, what you think about it. And in the meantime, everybody have a beautiful night. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary. I will be back Friday night. We will probably talk more about Lady Bird Lake. Or actually, it will be I might go back and cover more on Chicago. If not, we'll go to another city or another state and we'll talk about it. But we are going to keep covering that because more and more people have been watching it and more people are finding it interesting. More and more people believe that there's definitely something weird going on. So that's for Friday night. As of tonight, yeah, make good choices, look out for each other, be kind to each other. And I love y'all, and I will see some of you on Friday night. Y'all take care.